Solving for y, we did 3.5, remember? And you guys, some of you took a quiz on it?
Yeah.
Solving for a specific variable. Well, this specific variable that we are solving for is y, because we want to put it in y equals mx plus b form, correct?
Hey.
Slope intercept form. Well, we already did this, a lot of it. We're just now. Now we're going to change the formula. This is in standard form. We're going to make it slope-intercept form because we're very familiar with this because it's easy to graph. Because I can easily read the y-intercept or where it crosses the y-axis, right? And we can easily read the slope. So we want to put our equations in slope-intercept form if we can. And this is how we're going to do it. Now you guys know how to do this because we spent 2 days on this. Again, I want to get the y by itself. So I'm going to subtract the 2x or undo the plus 2x to both sides. So I'm going to bring my y down. And I'm going to put my x term first because it's first in our slope-intercept form. So I'm going to put the negative 2x first. And then I have a plus 12. And that's my slope-intercept form. Now, if I were to go graph this, I would start with my y-intercept, which is 12. Then I would use my slope, which is negative 2 over 1. I can easily graph that. Yes, sir. All right, number 2. Solve for y.
I know, but it's just like solving for x.
Yes.
You just get y by itself.
Get y by itself. That's all we're doing here. Okay, this time I have a minus y. Please keep the sign.
You divide it. So you need to
Eventually I'm going to divide it by
so it's negative, minus 4x, minus 4x equals negative y, so divided by 1.
negative 1, right?
And then we get y equals...
So I have to divide every term by negative 1. Okay. So these negatives cancel. I get y equals. Now, it's perfectly okay to put negative 4 over negative 1. Or you could, I prefer positives. You could put, actually, you could just put the number 4 there. You don't have to put it over 1. I'm going to make sure that x is out of a fraction, just because it's easier to deal with. And then positive 9 divided by negative 1, negative 9. And there's my equation. Now these are going to get a little bit harder because they're going to be dealing with fractions. Number 3. Okay, I have to get my y by itself, so now I'm going to start by getting that y term by itself. Oh, you did?
Isn't that crappy though?
Yeah.
My mom was mad.
I don't blame her. Okay, so I got to subtract x from both sides. I get 2y equals, I'm going to put my minus x first and a plus 8. I think. Now I still have to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide every term by the coefficient 2. Every term by the coefficient 2. Okay. So my 2's cancel the 1. 1 times y is my y. Get my y by itself. Now, don't forget there's a 1 here in front of the x, right? So my slope here is actually -1 over 2. And since my x is in the numerator, I'm going to pull it out to make it easier to deal with. And then I have a plus 8 divided by 2 is a plus 4. Okay, so if I need to read things from here, my slope is -1/2, and my y-intercept is going to be 4.
Oh yeah, no, because look, they tried to walk out the class earlier today. They got caught, and then I walked out. And I was straight.
All right, number 8.
Let me give you that line on this.
Here's my y term. I'm going to subtract x from both sides.
You want that fade?
I have my 4y equals, I'm going to put my x term first, -x plus 12. Then I'm going to divide every term by 4. So y equals -1 over 4. The x comes out. Positive 12 divided by positive 4 is positive 3. There's my answer. I'm going to do 2 more problems, so hang in there with me.
Are you really going to upload this video?
Yes. Why? What's wrong with it?
There's a whole bunch of shenanigans.
You can't have music on the video because it's copyright material. YouTube will block it. So you got to wait till I'm done recording. Yeah, that might be a little far away. All right, so I have to get -2y by itself first. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. I have -2y equals -5x plus 10. I'm going to divide every term by -2. Okay, so I get y equals. Now, you're perfectly okay to leave it as -5 over -2. I prefer the positive 5 over 2. Pull the x out. Shh. Positive 10 divided by -2 is -5. No.
Huh?
No.
Who was?
Okay, I'm going to do number 11.
Alright, see Mr. D.
See you later. Okay, I'm going to get positive 2y by itself. Sebastian, give me my stamp back. Which means I'm going to add 3x to both sides.
If you're doing that when people have F's,
So I have 2y.
if you're doing this when people have F's, you
Is it not on?
For real? Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to divide every term by the coefficient 2. 2, 2, and 2. My 2's cancel the 1. 1 times y is y. I have a slope here of 3/2. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to pull that x out. -4 divided by +2 is -2. So my slope is 3/2. My y-intercept is -2. So here's where it crosses the y-axis at -2.
It really hurt. Ow.
Why do you have to?
And I'm going to use the slope up 3. Up 3 over 2. And here's my line.